Welcome to Nintendo PowerZone, guys. It's your boy Nice1983, and I am so excited for what's on the table today. I have wanted this for years. I saw it on Toy Wiz, and I had to order it. Like, I legit had to order it. So what we have here is the new Super Mario Bros. Desktop Sofbi series Super Mario with the Super Mushroom. There are a couple different varieties of this figure that essentially showcase Mario with some item in his hand. I've seen some with a bat, I've seen one with a ping pong paddle, others with a Starman, and one with a 1-up mushroom. But this one comes with the Super Mushroom, and I'm excited because this is the one I wanted the most. So guys, I cannot wait to break this figure down. So this is by Banpresto. You're gonna notice that on the box it does say Bandai. Bandai and Banpresto are essentially the same company. It's just, you know, one of the more specific brands within Bandai. So let's go ahead and break this box down. So you've got a nice window display. You see Mario tipping his cap. Kind of reminds me of something from Super Mario Odyssey. You got the new Super Mario Bros. Logo in big, bold letters. Then you see the desktop Sofbi series. And then it says New Super Mario Bros. Mario. And it's an awesome yellow box. And right under Mario, you see that it does come with the Super Mushroom accessory. This box is beautiful. And you just get this great image of Mario right there in the window display. It looks amazing. We gotta go ahead and keep looking at this box. So let's turn it on its side now. So there's not a lot going on here. You literally just have a question mark block sitting on top of a brick block, but the artwork looks great, straight out of the game. I'm loving it. Let's go ahead and turn this box over again. Let's take a look at the back. Here it is, back of the box, and it's beautiful. Look at that awesome picture of Mario jumping. Over to the right of that, you have the new Super Mario Bros. Logo. Under that, you've got a lot of Japanese text that I don't understand, but under that, there's an awesome picture of the figure, and it tells you how big it is. 30 centimeters, roughly about 12 inches. So it's a bigger figure. Not the biggest figure we've done on the channel, but it's still a bigger figure. Let's go ahead and turn this box over one more time now. Same as the other side, kind of a bummer, but it's still cool to look at. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy unboxed. Alright guys, here it is, out of the box, on the table, and it looks incredible. The detail on Mario is some of the best I've ever seen. This is literally one of the best Mario figures on the market. Banpresto has always made excellent Super Mario Bros. Toys, and this might be their crowning jewel. It is beautiful. Mario has so much expression. Like, he's tipping his cap, he's got that great smile. You know, he's got his hand out. His overalls are ultra detailed. Like, you can see the stitching really well. His boots are the perfect shade of brown. Everything about this looks incredible. And like I said, looking at him with, you know, tipping the cap, I just keep waiting for him to fling it like on the Super Mario Odyssey trailer. But this is beautiful. This is beautiful. You also get a look at the Super Mushroom. It's very tiny, but it's within the scale of this figure. So I really like it. The mushroom will go on his hand. We'll showcase that later, but right now I just want you to see the figure itself. This is great. And New Super Mario Bros. Is one of my favorite Mario games. It's a game that I've gotten to spend so much time with. I played it with my friends, I've played it with my family, and this game has always brought us together in a fun and competitive way. So I'm glad to see that Mario got love from that specific game, and it looks incredible in toy form. Let's go ahead and turn the figure over. Alright, looking at it from this side lets you see that Mario is actually standing on, you know, his tip of his toes. This is kind of a weird pose to look at from the side because Mario's hand is obscuring his face. It actually looks like the figure is leaning forward. It's standing perfectly well. It just looks weird. Although I do have to make note that this figure is not necessarily stable because of the arch. the arch of his foot makes it harder for him to just stand solidly. It's one of the few flaws I have with this figure, but because the figure can stand without too much struggle, I'm not going to complain too much about it. Looking at Mario from the back, you see some great detail. Look at his hair. His hair is just perfectly sculpted. And look at just the design of the overalls looks great. Also, take a look at the Super Mushroom. I forgot to mention it in the last slide, but the Super Mushroom is also on point. Guys, I want to make note that there's not a single piece of paint that's out of place. There's no scuff marks on this figure. It's immaculate. It's perfect. I don't understand why American toy makers can't make toys that are this well painted. This Mario figure has a lot of detail for a Mario figure too. It's not a run-of-the-mill Mario figure. Even the Jakks Pacific Mario doesn't have paint application that's done to this degree. This is amazing. And Mario has a simple design. He's not an overly complicated character, but I've noticed that lots of Mario figures tend to have misplaced paint, and all the stuff from Banpresto always gets it done flawlessly. Let's go ahead and turn the figure over, okay guys? Alright guys, on this side of the figure I want to make note that Mario's hand on his right side is the only point of articulation on this entire figure. It can move up and down. I probably should have put it in the down position to go ahead and show this side off, but I didn't, so we're just gonna have to roll with it. It looks really good though. Just look at his paint job. His sideburns look clean. Look, none of his paint is bleeding over to another side. Everything is painted as flawlessly as possible on this figure, and that's incredible. And the same goes for the Super Mushroom. Not a single piece of paint that's out of place. Banpresto makes amazing toys, guys. They really do. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you what it looks like when it's all said and done. We put the Super Mushroom in Mario's hand, and this is where I have some big issues. The mushroom does not really fit in his hand easily. You kind of have to move the arm in a certain way. You have to tilt the mushroom in a certain way. He doesn't just grasp the mushroom. This could have been solved with like a peg system, but they didn't do that. And in some ways I'm glad they didn't put a peg in the bottom of Mario's hand, because it would look awkward when he wasn't holding the mushroom. But at the end of the day, it would keep the mushroom stable, because the mushroom will fall if this figure is moved. So it's kind of a catch-22. You don't want the peg to like make his hand look weird, but you kind of need it for the mushroom to sit there stably. It's, like I said, it's a catch-22. That being said, when you're looking at it like this, it looks really, really good. Alright guys, let's go ahead and move into comparison time, okay? So let's start with the Super Mushroom accessory. I got it here next to the Super Mushroom piggy bank that I got last Christmas, and I just want you guys to see the differences between a very similar product. And look at how much better the Banpresto Super Mushroom is. Despite the fact that it's a smaller figure, they get a lot more of the details right. Now they look incredibly similar, but there's just something different, and I want you guys to see it. It's the eyes. The eyes look better on the mini Banpresto accessory than they do on the piggy bank that was designed to look like the Super Mushroom. The paint application is also much better on the Super Mushroom. If we were to turn it onto the bottom, you would see that the piggy bank is actually missing some paint. You don't notice it so much because of the shadow of the mushroom cap, but if I were to go ahead and flip these over, you would see that missing paint. And I want to make note of this, guys. The eyes on the Sofbi mini mushroom accessory, they're molded, they're not painted, which is another amazing detail that goes above and beyond standard toys here in America. In America, when we get accessories, they're typically unpainted. They're usually just one color, and we throw them away or we lose them, and it's not too much concern. I don't ever want to lose this Super Mushroom because it has so much great detail. It's incredible. Banpresto just knocking things out of the park. I don't know who does their quality control, but that man deserves a raise. Moving on with comparison time, what I have on the table is another Banpresto Mario on the left with his arms crossed. This is one of my favorite Mario figures. It's done in about a 10-inch scale, maybe a 9-inch scale to be honest, and he just looks really good. It's another one of these things where the paint application is amazing, and Banpresto has always impressed me. That's kind of the reason why I wanted the Sofbi desktop figure, because the 9-inch scale figures were just so well designed that I wanted to see if they had the same level of dedication to the larger scale figures. Moving on to the right of the Sofbi figure, we have the Jakks Pacific 20-inch Mario, which by the way is still the largest Mario toy on the market. It's huge. Even standing next to the Sofbi figure, which I said is about 12 inches, this thing really casts a large shadow. But as far as its design, it's not as well designed as the Sofbi Mario. This Banpresto Mario is really blown out of the water, and Jakks Pacific makes pretty decent large scale figures. Like, I really appreciate the 20-inch Mario, but when I have it side by side, this Banpresto Sofbi desktop figure, it just can't keep up. It's just not there. The quality isn't the same. Whereas the only part of the Jakks Pacific Mario that's made out of vinyl are the hands and the head. The Sofbi figure is completely vinyl, and it just looks better. Like, the proof is in the pudding, guys. Just look at them. Now, it's nice to have the 20-inch Mario because it's nice to have a Mario this big. And like I said, guys, for me, when it comes to collecting, bigger is always better. But this Sofbi figure is just blowing it out of the water. It really is. I don't know how many other ways I can say that, but I just gotta say it again. It is much better. Alright guys, let's go ahead and move into score time. Alright, it is score time. My favorite time. Why? Because I get to tell you whether or not something is worth your hard-earned money. Guys, this figure is all about appearance, and its appearance is flawless. This is one of the best looking Mario figures I have ever had the pleasure of owning or even seeing. The paint is in all the right places, nothing is bleeding over, there are no scuff marks. This figure is great. The pose is just awesome. He's tipping his cap, and I'm almost half expecting him to throw it like he does in the Super Mario Odyssey trailer. The mini mushroom accessory is just as flawless. It's just a great looking figure. Now, as far as its functionality, all it's supposed to do is stand. I've had a little bit of issue just because of the nature of the pose that this figure is in. It makes him a little bit harder to stand, but once you get him standing, he's pretty stable. The other issue I have is the fact that the Super Mushroom doesn't really fit in his hand in a proper way. It kind of just rests on his hand, and if you bump the figure or if you bump the table that the figure's on, he may drop the mushroom. This could have been solved by adding a peg to the bottom of Mario's palm or the top of Mario's palm, but that's a catch-22. Like I said earlier, if you put that that peg there, his hand's gonna look weird. But for stability's sake, that might have been the better way to go. That being said, none of this matters. These qualms are so minor that they don't affect my overall viewing of this figure. I gotta give it a 10 for its appearance and a 10 for its functionality. This figure gets a perfect 10. This is the best Super Mario figure on the market. There is nothing better, and it's probably going to be a long time before something better comes out. And if somebody makes something better, it's going to be Banpresto, because nobody makes a Mario figure like they do. This gets our official Nintendo PowerZone seal of quality twice over. This is the definitive Super Mario figure. Alright guys, but that's going to be it for this episode of Nintendo PowerZone Unboxing. But before I let you go, I gotta hit you up with the social media links. You can hit me up on Twitter at Nice1983. You can email me at nice1983@gmail.com. Check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/ Nintendo PowerZone. If you're a fan of the Nintendo PowerZone podcast, you can always download new episodes on iTunes, Google Play Music, and Stitcher Radio for streaming purposes. And guys, if you want to watch the show live, you can catch us here on YouTube. youtube.com/user/thearticle, THAARTICLE. And guys, don't forget, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. I have a brand new unboxing video just for you, so don't forget to check those out. That's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and watch out for Amiibo Hunters on the prowl. Deuces.